living for some people, for some drum people, I suppose. Well, they can sit and rot. But not Rose.
That was six-time Tony winner Audra McDonald lighting up Broadway again. But she's doing it as Mama Rose in the new production of the iconic musical Gypsy. Please welcome back to our stage the fabulous Audra McDonald. So I have to ask you, where did this desire to play Mama Rose come from?
You know, it's not a desire I actually had, but I had a dear friend who passed away this past September, Mr. Gavin Creel, an incredible actor and singer. We miss him terribly. And he was a very dear friend of our family and came over for Thanksgiving dinner about 8 years ago. And he said, honey, I want to talk to you about something. And he pulled me into the garage. He's like, I've just been thinking about this. You need to play Mama Rose in Gypsy. You need to do it. Why shouldn't it be a black woman? And it should be you. It should be you, and you should do it. You should really do it. And that's the first time it kind of really got into my head. Wow. And then I started thinking about it, and then I started talking about it with producers and whatnot, and now here we are. And Gavin died the first day of rehearsal. But I feel that he is with us.
He seems young.
Yeah. He was 7.
Oh, God.
How you feeling, by the way?
Tired?
It's 8 shows a week.
8 shows a week,
oh
yes.
And you're doing them.
Yes, I'm doing all 8 a week, and she's a hurricane. You know, everybody else is trying to survive the hurricane that is Mama Rose, and so.
So we were just talking with Lawrence Fishburne about The Color Purple and it being 3 black women leading that movie.
Yes.
And what makes this production different is the 3 lead roles are played by black women for the first time.
Yes.
And it's also being directed by 5-time Tony winner George C. Wolfe.
Yes.
So how does having black women portray these characters impact the story?
Well, I'll start by saying that we haven't changed a single line. We haven't changed a single note. We haven't changed anything. The story is the same. And I like to say it just hits different. Rose is a woman who is a single woman with 2 children in the 1920s with not many opportunities. That's the story, right? And she wants more than anything for her children to have more than she did. She wants them to become stars. Right. And so you put that in through the lens of a black woman, and you see it just hits differently. Yeah. You know, there's certain lines in the show. There's a line at the end of the show that Rose says, you want to know why I did it? You want to know what I did it for? Because I was born too soon and got started too late.
Oh, man.
Rose also, at one point in time, she pushes sort of her lighter-skinned daughter forward to try and make her more of a star. She tries to sort of have her pass kind of as white. That's what we do in our production, again, without changing a single solitary thing. So there's a scene where a producer says, yes, I'm interested in just her. And the mother has to not be a part of this. And so Rose sees that and says, you're trying to erase me, you're trying to take her, you're gonna push her into the white world, and you're gonna make me and her sister disappear. So things like that just make it hit.
Yes.
Well, you know, I saw the play. You're a powerhouse.
Yeah.
You are a powerhouse. And at first I thought, I wonder how this is going to work, you know?
Yeah.
Like anybody, because it is a true story about white people.
Yeah.
But it didn't matter at all.
No.
It did not have any change in my mind about this great play. It happens to be one of the greatest musicals ever written. Every single song hits.
Yes.
And you've got the chops, the talent to do it. 8 shows a week, though, like
8 shows a week.
Wow. I don't know how you do that. How do you cope with that?
You know what? It's very difficult.
Singing and dancing.
Yes, the singing and the emotional impact that it has every single night. I just did 2 shows yesterday, 2-show day on Wednesday, and I have to admit there are moments where when I come off stage, I just kind of
Fall over.
Well, I just sort of like stare into space like this. And any time that I can actually be quiet is a good thing because Rose never stops on stage.
Yeah.
And it's also hard, you know, I have kids, so it's hard, you know, taking the time away from them.
Kids, Well, you know, there have been a lot of people who've come to see you in the show. as Joy, Joy mentioned, it's just wildly popular. But in February, former Vice President Kamala Harris came to see it, and you said that the performance you gave that night was different and special.
Well, let me tell you why. It was, obviously it was in January, so this was after the election. I don't like knowing who's in the audience. I don't like knowing because I don't want to think about what they're thinking about you the same way, right? Right, we'll be the same way. We don't want to know. We want to do our show.
Yeah.
And so I didn't know that she was there. They knew not to tell me, but I was dumb enough to check my phone at intermission, and a friend of mine said, "Oh my God, are you having so much fun with Kamala in the audience?" I was like, "What?" No. So what that did do, when I got to Rose's turn, and there's the line where she says, "Will someone tell me, when is it my turn? Don't I get a dream for myself? Starting now, it's gonna be my turn." And I don't think I kind of felt like the earth open up from beneath my feet all the way to the top of my head. I don't think I've ever sung the song as loudly as I did or have it come from such an emotional
You were
place.
singing for both of you.
I was for more than all of us.
I mean, for, at that moment.
For all of us.
All of us.
Really.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, Audra, as you mentioned, you have kids. You have 2 daughters, Sally, who's 8 years old, and then Zoe, who's 24. So you've got quite a gap there.
Yes.
Now, I understand that Zoe is kind of teaching you little things that you can do differently with your 8-year-old. What can you tell us about that?
One of the most wonderful things about having children with such an age gap, I mean, it wasn't planned, but, I thought it was menopause, and it was Sally. One of the things is my older daughter has really, she told me one day, she said, "Mom, I hope that you start to talk better about your body and yourself in front of Zoe than you did about me, about in front of me."
Yeah.
It's not that I spoke horribly about her body. I was always, you're beautiful, you're strong. She's like, "But Mom, I learned how to treat myself by watching how you treat yourself."
Wow, that is powerful.
And that's
I got the
powerful.
same story from my daughter.
Yes, and
it
so
was a
really-
big mistake.
Yeah.
I'm so fat. Look how fat I am. I never said she was.
Yes.
But it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
That's what you model
That's
that
why
for
you
them.
always have to. That's why I always say, if you don't celebrate you,
They won't learn to
they're
celebrate
not going to learn to
themselves.
celebrate you.
So it's
they're not going to know.
It takes therapy.
It really does. It really
And that's
does.
an expensive habit. So.
Yes.
But unnecessary.
Well, Audra, it is the perfect show for you.
The friend was right.
Yeah.
Yes.
He really got it right down. So thank you, as always, for coming to us. You can see her in Gypsy on Broadway at the Majestic Theater. Do yourself a favor, y'all. Now you got a lot of stuff that we've been telling you to check out. You don't want to miss this. This is a once in a lifetime, in your lifetime, opportunity to watch her do this.